All right, here we are. Okay. Uh, yeah, just going to talk about when I was at my lowest point of my life. I was going to say of my addiction, but I guess it just happened to be when I was using. And this even bleeds over. Yeah, this too, I should say, this isn't even necessarily at the peak. Like it wasn't like this was the most milligrams of morphine and oxy I was taking. So therefore this was the worst. This is like everything. It's just everything. And I'm making this because I think we have felt completely hopeless before. I would assume a lot of people probably have. I would say that probably I'd say like, yeah, probably most or all, I don't know. I get so specific. We'll just say all addicts that want to get clean have felt completely hopeless and stuck. Just like there's just you start to believe it. You start to believe like, dude, there's just no. You really believe it. Like there's no way I can get out of this. I'm stuck. What am I gonna do? I can't do anything. I don't have self-control. I'm in a certain situation where I can't be withdrawing because of this. I got this work and blah blah blah. Whatever it is. So many different situations. Okay, so anyway, so I'm gonna talk about when I was at the lowest of my low, and I know I've talked about these things before, and maybe I don't know, maybe there's a little bit more here than others that, maybe I forgot stuff last time. I don't really know. Doesn't matter. Here we go. Okay, because I talked to a lot of people that this is their this is how they feel. I was talking to a lady last night. She's in a tough spot for sure. And she feels hopeless. She straight up told me. Sometimes it's just baby steps all the way out of that. Okay, here we go. So when I was at the lowest of the low, okay, like I said, it wasn't necessarily because I was this was the pinnacle of my usage. In ways, though, it kind of was, in some respects, because I started mixing more stuff. So yeah, really, I guess you could say that. So I tried to get clean again and again and again and again and again, okay? Would relapse, hide it from my wife for a while, then I'd tell her, always sucks. She always knew when I was using, other than when I'd relapse. Well, she thought I was clean. I had recently relapsed, and she was pregnant. I don't even know how many months. We'll just say 6 months pregnant, something like that. So I told her, and then I hadn't relapsed for too long. Like months worth, okay? Like, I don't know. We'll just say 4 months. It's something like that. Maybe not even that, actually. You know what? It wasn't even that. Anyway, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get right back on track, though, okay? Well, I should tell you, though, too, so I jumped off methadone when I was taking Kratom, and I looked at myself as I'm clean, I'm on Kratom. I knew in my heart I wasn't, though. I knew in my heart I was not clean. I knew that I had become dependent on Kratom, and I was taking so effing much, I was miserable. I was more depressed taking Kratom than when I just got to the point of just being sick and tired of being sick and tired on pills, where it's just like you're depressed. It's not fun anymore. You're dope sick, then you're not. You're dope sick, then you're not. You take stuff, you're never getting as high as you want anymore. Blah 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 blah. Wasting all your money, whatever, everything that goes with it. Well, then I got on a bunch of Kratom, and that was terrible. It was so. You guys, I was taking a lot. 3 to 4 ounces a day. It just got so bad. Well, I got so effing pissed off at Kratom. I just jumped off of Kratom. Didn't taper or anything. Jumped off on a Wednesday. I know I've said that a lot. And I went like a month. Yeah, so I went like a month. Yeah, I'm sorry this is kind of choppy. It's kind of hard, though. I'm trying to remember stuff. And I don't want this to go too long. But anyway, so I jumped off methadone, blah, blah, blah. I was on Kratom for like 6 months. Jumped off the Kratom. Went about a month off Kratom, so with nothing, okay? I was already dependent on benzos. That was just like, check the box. That's what it was. Everyone knew it. Then I relapsed on methadone because that's all I could find. So methadone it was. So I took that for a little while, a month we'll say, or whatever. Yeah, we'll just say a month. And then I told my wife, oh, I relapsed on methadone. Yay. And because I just got so fed up with Kratom. I honestly, in my heart, the way it made me feel, I was like, dude, I'd rather just just stop taking it. Or I'd rather just take pills again and get off that because I've done that many times. I didn't know. what to do, and I didn't have any time off or anything. I mean, this wasn't planned like I had done, so there were those things too. And so things were starting to kind of close in a little bit. Okay, just that python just slowly coming, getting me, or I'm getting myself. I'm making these decisions. And so I relapsed, tell my wife she's pregnant, okay? And I'm like, I'm gonna get right back on track. Gonna hop right back on board. And I really tried, but I couldn't do it. Did it like I said, no time off work, and I can tough it out so much, but I wasn't ready in my heart. I really wasn't ready. I was trying to get clean because I knew we were having a kid, which sucks, isn't it amazing? I couldn't pull through for my kid, But you really got to want it for yourself. You have to get to that point of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. You got to want it for yourself if you're going to do it. You really freaking do. And well, anyway, so I'm kind of going back and forth, and I'm not telling her, I'm not telling her that I'm kind of going back and forth, because I'm just like, dude, I'll get this straightened out, well, so we have the baby. And, we're in the hospital, and I got methadone. I got, of course, my benzos, but I had some Adderall with me. We're in there for a couple days. She had a surgery, C-section, and I had to go freaking lie to her and say, oh, I need to do something at work, and I'll be right back. Or I went and got pills, just stuff like that, okay? And so I'm sinking, dude. I'm sinking low. I'm super depressed. I hate myself. Just so much shame, so much guilt. All of that stuff, dude. And so I'm sinking lower and lower and lower. Well, it gets worse. I start huffing again. Well, yeah, that was like back in high school, I just said, but I started huffing again, okay? And that's where things really took a bad turn. As you guys know, I don't even like talking about this, dude, but it's just what it is. I just need to say this because I felt completely helpless, dude. I was huffing. I was huffing and driving once, and I freaking went out in a field, like a freaking Christmas tree farm field. I don't know how I didn't run over some Christmas trees. I kind of landed on the side or whatever, made it, got out of there, and yeah, I was just getting, I hated life. At that point in my life, I hated life. I wanted to kill myself, or be a nihilist. And just be hedonistic and go out that way in a blaze, I guess. I mean, that's where I was. The only thing that kept me from doing that, of course, I loved my family. I did. And I knew I was having a kid and stuff. And I hate to, admit, there was that, but the other thing, really, I'll just be straight up. In my back of my mind and in my heart, I knew. I couldn't deny that I'm not saying I couldn't deny that there was a God. I couldn't deny that I believed in God. I was trying intellectually, diving into everything to convince myself that there's couldn't be a God. There's no way. And it's not the God of the Bible, all that stuff, whatever. Okay. That was my goal. I didn't tell anyone that, but that was my goal in the inner man. Okay. So I felt completely hopeless, and I didn't care. I really didn't freaking care, other than the fact that that sliver of like, dude, God, man, he doesn't approve of this, there's a God, watch out, buddy, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom too, by the way, the Bible says. But anyway, so I was really hitting a freaking low. Well, so we have a little baby. Tell my wife, oh, by the way, I suck, and I've been using again, blah, 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 all the crap, okay? And it was just like, done, baby. I mean, it was just like, psh. Well, shortly after that, I got into a car accident, ran my truck off the road, went through a fence, ran into a person's house, blah, 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 having seizures, okay? Started having seizures. I was in and out of the hospital having seizures. Yeah, check this out. So I'm in and out of the hospital having seizures. I was in there for a week at one point at OHSU, blah, 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 just in and out. Then this was all in a 2-month period, okay? I was in and out. I don't even know how many times I was in and out of the hospital with seizures. Well, also in that period, I got a blood clot in my calf. That's when I had that. Had a pulmonary embolism, went to my lungs. I was at hospital, so I'm hospitalized for that. I'm on seizure watch. Blood clot. I mean, it was just a cluster F. Then I got my appendix taken out like somewhere in that time too, which is not a big deal, but it was just another thing. I was puking and I put it off, dude. I put it off so long. Yeah, well, I put it off for so long. I'm puking a bunch. While I get to the hospital, They're like, dude, we need to take this out, but your blood's too thin because you're on blood thinners because of your blood clots. So we got to pump you with plasma, blah, blah. I mean, it was just, I was on death's door for months. I mean, seriously, you never knew, like, if Gabe was going to pull through. I mean, and I was 27 years old. And I just gotten back on Suboxone, like, when this stuff, as the hospital stuff, it just really meshed in, okay? Sorry if this is choppy, but I'd be here forever if I just really, Anyway, all of this whole story, though, is like within a year, period, just so you guys know. So it wasn't like years and, this was all, might have been 9 months even, maybe. I don't even know. We'll just say a year. And, well, I got on Suboxone. Well, I was taking so much crap that I had to start out at 32 milligrams of Suboxone. Oh, yeah, by the way, I was taking a bunch of methadone. So I went into precipitated withdrawals when I got on the freaking Suboxone. I waited a long time, wasn't enough. So it was just like, it just sucked. I was so effing done with everything. I was sick of feeling like shit every day of my life. And I remember sitting, I was in the hospital. I was at OHSU. And I'm sitting there, and I'm hooked up to this thing on my head. They had all these wires. They had to watch my brain all the time. They tried to, I was in there. They were trying to provoke seizures. I would have to stay up. They'd flash stuff in my eyes. I mean, it sucked. I could go as far as the toilet. Even when I took a crap, a nurse had to be right there. That sucks. I mean, I was at the point, like I say, I don't care about anything, but, you get on the pot and you're trying to pinch one out. You're like, I kind of do care about this, But anyway, it was terrible. But I remember sitting in that hospital bed. Oh, and they had me on an effing low sodium menu. There you go. I mean, does it get any worse than that? Everything. I didn't even know it was. I was just ordering food. I'm like, God, this is terrible. There's no flavor, and they won't bring me salt packs and stuff. And then my wife's like, well, yeah, they have you on the low sodium menu, which ended up being a mistake. So anyway, which made it even worse, I guess. Anyway, okay, sorry. That's what the low point was, the low sodium menu. You better believe it. That was the lowest of my life. Okay. Anyway, and I remember just sitting in there, and I just thought, for the first time in my life, I thought I really felt completely hopeless. I thought, I don't think I'm ever going to get off all this medication. Oh yeah. I was on 3 seizure medications. Was it 12 or was it 14? I think it was 12. I'll say it was 12. I was on 12 medications. I was 27 years old. 12 medications. They made me feel terrible too. That's another thing. They made me feel absolutely terrible. Okay. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, and I'm like, man, I don't think I'm ever gonna, be back to normal. I don't think I'm ever gonna get out of this. I have no hope. And I was on 32 milligrams of Suboxone. I knew what that meant. I had been on 32 milligrams on Suboxone like 3 years before this and done the whole rodeo. I knew what that meant. And I knew I had a kid now, and now I'm in the hospital, in and out, and I got these blood clots. I had appointments 2 to 3 times a week. I remember me and my wife still talk about this. There was one, I'm 27 years old, and I had 6 doctor's appointments in 5 days. I had one every day, and then one day I had 2. Because it's like I got a neurologist, and I got to go to the blood clot. And then I got to go check up on my freaking appendix thing. Or so I don't even remember what it was. It was terrible. It was freaking terrible. And I was just sitting there. I was just like, dude, this is it, man. I'm completely helpless. I did not know what to do, where to even begin. I didn't know where to begin. I was like, so should I start my Suboxone taper when I'm doing this? You know what I mean? Like, where is that even a good idea? I mean, what am I going to be dope sick, sweating in the hot? I mean, like, it's just like, what do you do? Where do you start? So you know what I did? I didn't know what to do, but I knew in the back of my mind that God was real, and I was avoiding God with all of my heart. With all of my heart, I was putting everything to avoid God. This is me. This is my conviction. I cannot help it. Can't help it. I'm not telling you what to believe. I can't help it. And I just had to go to God. It hasn't been perfect. It wasn't like I went to God and I'm a different man. And yeah, I am a different man, but I'm still a man. Okay, I'm still a man. At the end of the day, baby. I mean, I screw up. I'll still screw up. It is, that's what it is. And it just you take on one thing at a time. First, I knew I had to get off seizure medication because it made me feel terrible, and I didn't want to be on it. So I did all the right things. You know, I was trying to get out and walk, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I got off those, got my license back. I mean, I had to be seizure-free on the medication for 6 months. Then, seizure-free to get off the medication for 6 months, okay? Then, to get my license back, I had to not have a seizure for 6 months after stopping the medication. So I had my license for over a year, okay? Couldn't drive. My wife would have to drive me all the way to work. I worked far away. It was just terrible. I hardly was my daughter's first how many months of life, I don't even remember. I wasn't around very much. I was just in and out of the hospital. I was in this fog funk with all the medication. I mean, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. The worst depression. I know I have videos like I'm more depressed than my whole life, you know, on some of these videos with Suboxone and stuff. That was the worst. That really was the worst, okay? My body wasn't making things depressed thing. This was like the real, terrible stuff, okay? Where it was just, yeah. Anyway, and actually the medications I was on was making me depressed too. It does do that. Anyway, so I just chip away. So I got off that stuff, okay? All right, so I got off those seizure meds, started getting more active, did the right things, started to eat better, in weight. When I started my Suboxone video, I was pretty heavy, but I would fluctuate weight, actually. I was pretty good at that. Even, like, the last few years of being on Suboxone, I started to kind of, and then I'd gain it back, whatever, it doesn't matter, but, and so I was able to get off my, blood thinners. So I was able to get off that. Then I said, okay, Suboxone, here we go. Let's chip away at it. And I think I was actually, now that I think about it, I think I was slowly chipping away at it. Because honestly, when you're on a lot of Suboxone, to me, it's easy to taper. It's once you get in the tight 4 to 2 milligrams and you're going down, that's where, things really tighten up. And so I just started chipping away at that, and it took a long freaking time, dude. I had hernia surgery then, and then I had to, I can't take pain meds, and it was in a terrible spot. They didn't know if I could have kids again. My boys swim though, had a baby, but had one. Look at that. So it was just you can imagine if you're a guy, that's not a good spot for your muscles to bulge out and whatever, or any to tear and stuff. And so I went backwards a little bit because my doctor was like, well, I'm going to give you a little bit more Suboxone to help with the pain, blah, blah, blah. And, but I'm slowly getting out of this, and I'm still, I'm still in my own little way, struggling with not, wasn't like this perfect relationship with God is what I guess I'm getting at. But then as time went on, it started to change. Like I started I was really taking it serious and really had an interest and believing it. I mean, it was just like, dude, like there's things happening since this. When I went this way, I just went just down. When I did Gabe's way, I went down, and now I'm slowly catching on to God's way. And it's this thing started to kind of, it's just baby steps. It's okay. Bam. Okay. That's, one more, you just work, you got to be patient. And I suck at being patient. And so anyway, just chipped away at the Suboxone, chipped away, and then really it just, I guess really this is it. You guys know. And then it took a while, and I really, for like the last 2 years of being on Suboxone, I really got my mind and heart straight. God did. God got my mind and heart completely straightened out, got me prepared, and I put all you guys know it. I documented the whole freaking thing. I put everything I had into getting off Suboxone, okay? And I depended on God, not myself. Because dude, you guys, I always tell people, I was addicted to opioids for 12 years. 10 of those years, I was just trying to get clean. And that's really what it was. And relapse, it was this never-ending battle. I could never quite do it. I could go 7 months. I could do it, and I could just never do it. And I knew that, though. I knew, like, I can't do it. Like, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? So what if I'm wrong? Who gives a crap? What, I die and go to sleep? What, I mean, what? I know I'm going to fail if I try to get off Suboxone anyway. Why not just keep rolling? And I was believing, though, that's things I couldn't help it. I'm not going to say, like, I was trying to, like, kick God a $10 bill, like, hey, I'll believe in you if you do this for me. It wasn't that at all. That's not how it works at all, okay? But things were moving, okay? And then there you go. And then all of a sudden, I was getting out of that. And I guess, okay, here's the thing. I'm not going to keep going because you guys know the rest of the story up until here, and it's a battle still. 54 days off the clonazepam. But I guess this is what I want to say. And you know what I'm going to say. No matter where you are, it's not hopeless at all. It might take time. We stress about things and we build and build and build, and then we just want to, you want it in your heart, and you just think like the next, you just have to shed everything. That's just not how it works. It's just not how it works. Especially those, we have lives. There's physical dependency. Some of it's dangerous. Blah blah blah. I mean, it's just what it is. There's health problems, health concerns. But I'm telling you right now, and I'm not going to say you can't do it on your own, but I'm going to tell you right now, I can guarantee you that you could do it with Jesus Christ. I guarantee you, not just because of me. In fact, I got an interview lined up with a guy I work with that's, I think, 22 years sober. He's got a heck of a story. Owes it all to Jesus Christ. But I'm guarantee you, if you believe in Jesus Christ and you seek him with an honest heart, you truly seek him. You read his word. Don't listen to the preacher making money on TV, spewing bull crap, or you go to church, you go to your Catholic church and they read one little freaking verse. I mean, it's just nothing. I mean, it's out of context. It's blah, blah, blah. You have to put in the effort. Jesus would tell parables, and he knew what he was doing. He would tell parables and people would be like, dude, what? I came all the way here to see this guy. He's supposed to be so smart and whatever. And he did speak. People were like, man, he does speak in a way, whatever. But he would tell parables. But the point was, he would tell you what they were. But you had to go, you know what? There's got to be more here. Maybe I'm missing something. What? And he would tell us, not only his inner circle, let's even talk about John. Like, there were others there asking, like, you have to seek. We have to seek. We have to dive in. But I'm telling you, if you do that, I'm telling you right now, if you align yourself with God's will, it cannot be stopped. There's nothing that can get in the way. When we dive in with God's will, God has a will. God has a will that doesn't always happen because we have free will. His will is his will would be that humans have never killed each other. Well, we do it every day, even though his will is that doesn't happen. But he gives us free will, and we do it. But when we, with our own free will, go to him, it's happening, baby. FIFA victory. God bless. Okay. It's not hopeless. God bless all y'all and salute.